So why did it take 4 years? Serious question. Ideas about it versus reality. Uh, this is a great question. Why did it take me 4 years to finally realize how awesome DWM is? I think it's just scary. I think the answer to this is a lot simpler than many people think. I think it is just scary. I mean, people see like it's a raw C program, they just get scared of it. And the config is just a header file in a C program. And that just is weird. And it's I didn't quite understand DWM either. So there was that too. Because I was like, oh, what the hell is all this? This config file looks strange. So I didn't really dive in, obviously, or even look at it seriously. But it wasn't until I was like, wait a second, there is no config file. There isn't. It's all just baked right into the binary. And I was like, oh, well, I kind of like that. You can't get any more minimal than no config. You will, if you took my DWM, you're going to use my config and like it, or build your own, you know? And I think it's not until that epiphany, really, when I was like, oh, well, of course. And then I started using it, and I was like, wait a second, you don't need a polybar. You don't need a sys tray or all these hacky things you do. It's just all right there and just simple. And you can't screw anything up. And then that's what really sold me. So I think the 4 years is just from it being scary and me not understanding really what it was, because it doesn't really function like other window managers where you have a config file, you have a whole bunch of different setup. It's just it's its own thing, and you are the one compiling its binary. And then understanding like the patches with DWM is another level of complexity that I actually enjoyed. Like when I think the patches will scare off a ton of people when it comes to DWM, because you're like patching, and after you do one or two patches, it's gonna fail. Like you can't just use the patch command to patch it. It's gonna fail. And I don't know. I love the manual patching. Like I do it different from how you explained in your PDF there, Peter, where you do it line by line. It's a little too tedious for me. So I like to just run the patch command and then just cat the rejected, and then just go into there and then say, okay, this is a minus. Let me take this line out. This is a plus. Let me add those lines. And it's pretty quick once you understand the rejections and origin files on a bad patch. And after I got done, I was like, dude, this is freaking cool. I love this. And then I started adding different patches in, and I was like, neat. Okay. And inevitably, I'm sure I'm going to delete my entire configuration and start all over again, and probably do like a 6.4, because this is actually DWM 6.3. But I did it more for patch compatibility is why I did 6.3. And yeah, that's the reason why DWM took me so long. But I fell in love with it after spending like a weekend. Like after that stream wrapped, I was like on the fence. I was like, this is cool, but man, I don't quite understand a lot of things about DWM. And then I spent the weekend like wiping out my laptop and putting it on there. And I was like, wow, this is mind blowing, and I love it. So that's why it took me 4 years to even try it.